Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Bears and the Texans. All that and more coming up next.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Houston Texans taking on the NFC champions, the Chicago Bears. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
This Super Bowl is underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And pretty good field position here. He's out of bounds right at the 35. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And there are a lot of quarterbacks who had terrific careers. Think about guys like Phillip Rivers, Randall Cunningham, Dan Fouts, Warren Moon. But they never got to a Super Bowl. Yet here he is in his second NFL season, already getting his chance. I mean, harken back to Dan Marino. Another superstar made it in his second year, lost the game, and never made it back again.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. And, Charles, the big story of the week leading up was not really about the players, but about their head coach looking to tie Bill Belichick with a 6th Super Bowl title.
And something that just keeps coming back to me is something you said during the week leading up to this one, partner. How he continues to reinvent himself as a coach. You mentioned it's not just the X's and O's. You like the way he relates to his players, and you think that makes him special. And I think that you're right. We've seen it through the years. Each team is different. He gives them the right game plan and knows how to read each team to not only just get them to the big game, but to try and win it as well. And they've done a lot of that. As you mentioned, trying to win his 6th Super Bowl title.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. Looking to throw. Aiken. Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And some nifty running right away as he'll get this up past the 30. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
On 1st and 10, Aiken. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Back to throw. Aiken over the middle. It's complete. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. From the gun on 3rd down. Aiken, he finds his man, complete. That's Ballard. And he is going to have a Texans first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11. Sets them up first and goal.
And this has been an excellent drive to start the game off. Move the ball downfield well. Now they're set up at first and goal after that last really nice run. Exactly how a coach would draw things up. This is how you want to start a game, and that's all they've preached all week long about how they want to come out of the gate.
A chance for the first score of this Super Bowl. Here's first and goal. They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Texans are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the first and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. So here now the Bears offense for their first drive of the game. They're led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Mac Jones.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we're looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
Throwing, Jones. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. How about this? They'll try the option, left side. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
Now Jones. That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result. So
now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. Throwing on first down. Aiken. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Their defense got him the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brand, I almost expect you coming like an auctioneer. We've got two. Do I hear 3? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Will we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused.
And right side, they're going to go option here. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. Now that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop it.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Friedman. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. That's taken on the 25. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Texans will take over. And now out comes Houston.
For this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. From the gun on 3rd down. Aiken over the middle, complete. It's Ballard. And he is going to have the Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
A full start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Looking to throw. Aiken. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Back to throw. Aiken throwing middle, and it's complete. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw again. And that will be incomplete. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot.
The Bears now ready to take over again.
They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. And right side, they're going to go option here. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2. Now Jones on 3rd down. And this throw will be intercepted.
Derek Stingley picks it. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
Well, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Off play action. Aiken. Throw left side taken in by Miller. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Well, that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
A first down carry now for Miller. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
And we are back and ready to go for the second quarter of the Super Bowl. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, as always, thrilled to be with you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
On 2nd down, Sweet. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Carlson able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
They'll try to shake off the cobwebs from the interception he threw on the previous drive that led to the field goal, as now they're dealing with a little bit bigger of a deficit. 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Friedman.
And he'll take this up to the 30, a gain of 4. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Here's Jones from the gun on 3rd down. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
They'll run on 1st down. Friedman. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. Now a handoff up the middle. Friedman. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. And right side, they're going to go option here. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Off the play fake. Jones. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback.
The Texans back out there and ready to go.
And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Good push up front, and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
On first down, Aiken. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Off play action, Aiken. Escaping the pressure right.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Looking to throw, Aiken. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Jones throwing to start the drive. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
From the 31, Jones. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. They push him back 8 yards and time on second down.
They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack on offense. Sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Jones. He finds his... And now a fumble. The ball's out. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. Looking to throw on second down. Aiken. Going to throw right side here, complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you
think.
mean by that, Bert?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Aiken over the middle. It's complete.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A 12-yard touchdown grab.
And the Texans continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Carlson on for the PAT. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Jones now to throw on third down. Going for the deep ball. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 33.
Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Throwing to start the drive. Aiken throwing middle, and it's complete.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. Operating from the gun, Aiken. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. A big play there. His second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Texans are starting to open things up here in this Super Bowl. Oh, such great concentration there, going right up against the side of the end zone, but able to get the feet in bounds.
There's so many things that go into that catch, and you just mentioned the concentration, being able to catch the football, get your feet down in bounds.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the result, a Houston touchdown.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
So that challenge, a successful one. Looking to throw again on second down. Jones. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one. On third down, Friedman. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans with the football here late in this first half. And with a 24-0 lead already in hand, really no reason to try to do anything too crazy here. Throwing to start the drive. Aiken. And he's got his man out of the slot, complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. Back to the air on second down. Aiken. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Again, he'll drop to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. One of the greatest performances of the year usually, but not here. Halftime of the Super Bowl is skipped, and we are on to the second half. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Bears offense set to go to begin the 3rd quarter. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That was the worst first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. On first down, Friedman. 51 yards rushing for him now to this point. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Phillips. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. Friedman. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. Friedman. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun. Jones. And that is incomplete. Now Jones throwing on 4th down. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Friedman. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Looking to throw. Jones. Phillips has it running the out route. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. third down. Friedman. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. Right back to him on first down. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Bears are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
They attempted to fade to the back corner of the end zone unsuccessfully. And I've been with you long enough, Brandon. I know it's not one of your favorite calls.
Well, it's interesting. Before working with you, I always viewed that as you're just taking away space and you're trapping yourself in a corner. But you actually have told me they're trying to create space where space is not.
Yeah, it's really a weird deal, isn't it? But you've got to just move that defender inside to create that separation and that little bit of space where there just isn't much.
On first and 10, Aiken. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Working with a 2nd and 3. Off the play fake. Aiken. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. On third down, Sweet. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Throwing on first down, Aiken. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. On second down now, Sweet. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 44 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On first down, Aiken. He finds his man, complete. It's battered. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. On second down, here's Miller. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
It looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because if you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On first and 10, Aiken. Caught by Allen. To throw on second down. Aiken, wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 16. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8. Back to throw again. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Back to throw. Aiken. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Now to try the field goal, here's Daniel Carlson. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Three more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring sixes, not threes. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Chicago offense set to get started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he powers his way up past the 30. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Almost time for the final act of this NFL season as we are now through 3 quarters in the Super Bowl. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And there's just 1 quarter that remains in this edition of the biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, as we get set for the 4th quarter. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. He needed 2. He only got 1. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. Sweet. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 7 times and could use another right now. Here it's 3rd and 3. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
And they'll run for it with Miller. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. So how about the fortitude there? They're in field goal range, but they say, no, forget the 3. We think we can get the first, and they wind up getting a lot more than they bargained for.
And I love how you used an SAT word to describe what we just saw there, partner. That's got to be a deflated defense. You see the head down, the shoulders slumped. But we've talked about this before. Sometimes as a defense, you get so wrapped up in defending the first down line that that's your last line of defense. And once they get past that, they're gone.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Those Super Bowl hopes that they had really dwindling now here in the 4th quarter. That NFC crown that they got 2 weeks ago seems like a distant memory as they have been outplayed tonight. Here's Jones throwing to start the drive. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Jones on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. That's Phillips. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Jones now throwing on 1st down. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 38. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Line
line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Looking to throw. Jones. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 25-yard line. Back to throw. Jones. Flush to his right. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with the referee.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Now Jones on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Desperation time now. Here's Jones.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And this Texans defense stands tall. So that's the 2nd time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually, you have 4th down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go, and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
68 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll run it again with Miller. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there and a first down.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Miller. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Second and 6.
Inside handoff now, Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Aiken.
And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
This will be fielded at the 17. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Bears take over. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. To throw again on 2nd down. Jones. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Here's Jones to throw on 3rd down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Here comes the Bears punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 43. Oh, good move. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. They'll give it up the middle to Miller. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Miller. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he is going to have the Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Delay of game, offense.
The Lone Star State has a new champion. It's the Houston Texans, kings of the Super Bowl. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs. You see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.